Our pledge to the Kenyan people. Our manifesto clearly states on how our citizens will benefit under a people's-led government, run by Alliance. We have identified setbacks and available solutions as stated. On transport, energy, and infrastructure. Challenges identified. Cumbersome procurement procedures that affect time and budget overruns, denying private sector participation in infrastructure and energy development. Inefficient public transport and rail system in cities and principal towns, reducing movement of people and products, thus less revenue. The prevailing traffic congestion and environmental pollution in Nairobi and other towns due to fragmented transport systems. Low investment, low capacity in the local construction industry, cumbersome framework, poor enforcement of rules and regulations, strikes and unfavorable working terms and conditions in the sector. The poor state of safety and security and expansion of ports and airports that has impact on our economy and security of the country. Outdated legislation in the sector that hindered growth and poor transport sector, training, testing, and licensing. There is a huge maintenance backlog in the roads network, airports, railway network, and ports across the country, reducing revenue and start of new projects. Long travel distance between cities and towns, lots of hours are wasted. Expensive air travel, commuter system disorganized, reducing productive period of the economy. Inadequate power supply capacity due to weak transmission, blackouts, and poor distribution of network. Low investment in the power sector and restriction to encourage local and international investors by unfair regulations and government practices. High tariffs, levies, and connections to the grid, thus cost of production high, unlike in South Africa and Egypt, leading to companies relocating, thus loss of revenue in the economy. Inadequate seaport facilities for handling important coal and natural gas, which are cheaper energy resources than petroleum oil-based fuels for power generation. High and ever-rising fuel and levy prices, the adulteration of fuel, poor infrastructure, obsolete oil refinery, leading to loss of jobs and revenue to the economy. Constrained oil pipeline system. There is inadequate pipeline capacity to transport oil products from Mombasa to Nairobi and to Western Kenya. Land grabbing and settlement on land designated for expansion of roads, airports, railway, oil pipeline, leading to conflicts and court cases that hinder the sector growth. Cartels in the sector that hinder any changes and expansion so as to operate like first world systems, thus loss of job opportunities and economic revenue. Our solutions: give Kenyan National Highway Authority responsibility for all international, national, and primary roads. Devolve fund management of secondary and minor roads to the counties with strict measures to ensure all of the country is well connected. Ensure upgrading of urban-rural road networks and feeder. Upgrade all major roads to dual carriage from Mombasa, Nairobi, Kisumu, Eldoret to Malaba and Busia, Turkana and Garissa. Improve the rail and airports network to upgrade the links between major cities, towns of the country, connecting all major towns together. Construct and expand a series of commuter railway networks and airports in all major cities and counties in Kenya. Link all airports and airstrips. Implement and actualize network corridors with other countries such as Tanzania, Uganda, Rwanda, Sudan, and Southern Sudan. Restructure and modernize the ferry and inland water vessel services in Kenya and create linkages to the main ports and road networks. Ensure safety policies of all transportation systems. Expand all Transport System Act as hub for humans and cargo movements, thus more opportunity and revenue. Expand all Transport System Act as hubs for human and cargo movement, thus more opportunities and revenue. Revamp all airstrips and create a network of county airstrips. pre-design all transport systems to accommodate ICT and electric cables, water, sewerage system, and special purpose lanes. Reduce tariffs and levies connection fees in service industries to make Kenya's products competitive locally and internationally. Revive closed ones, hence job opportunities and economic growth. Develop the various power generation plants in collaboration with the local and private sectors to ensure sufficient supply in the whole of the country. Develop and strengthen solar and wind, coal and biogas power production stations and expand renewable sources of energy in the energy sector. Expand oil storage capacity to have strategic fuel reserve and enter into a bilateral trade agreements with oil exporting companies to import oil and stable low price. Construction of oil pipeline and a new oil refinery in Mombasa, Nairobi, Eldoret, Kisumu, thus creating jobs, industrialization of the country and boost to economy. Introduce low-interest, 5-year, paid back in electric bills for household and businesses to connect to the grid. Ensure every Kenyan has access to electricity. Create an oil and gas revenue fund. Give 10% of public revenues back to the local communities where resources are located. 10% to pay for the rollout of local renewable energy schemes and restoration and rehabilitation of excavated areas. Establish a national training and research institute to produce technical expertise in the energy sector for industrial growth and stimulation of economic development. With these goals in mind, we and the support of all Kenyans are determined to ensure the vital changes and reforms which Kenyans so urgently need and deserve. Join us, change and reforms. Vote for NASA, vote for Kenya.